you ready to take your leadership journey to the next level? On the leadership platform TLP, we don't just talk about leadership, we live it. This year, we are bringing you cutting-edge insights, transformative tools, and real-world strategies to help you lead with confidence, purpose, and impact. This year, we have 4 seasons with 50 episodes. We will dive into themes such as leading self, leading others, and leading institutions. We bring you Leaders Are Readers. This monthly session focuses on book reviews, discussions, encouraging all participants to read along with selected books on personal leadership and professional leadership. We also have a time with the CEO. In this segment, we dive into the stories of prominent CEOs who share their insights, lessons learned throughout their leadership journey. We also bring you extraordinary leadership stories, highlighting individuals in our societies who are doing extraordinary things. This segment inspires viewers with real-life examples of leadership in action. We will bring you some brilliant minds, courageous leaders changing the narrative of Africa. We also bring you finally the expert-led sessions, which cover a wide range of leadership and personal development topics, providing practical guidance and actionable strategies for personal and professional development. The leadership platform is your go-to space for personal growth, professional breakthroughs, and meaningful connections. I am Joy Bunsu-Schmutz, co-host on TLP, and I will see you every Saturday, 7 p.m. GMT, live on YouTube and Facebook.
Good evening, good afternoon, and good morning from wherever you're joining us. My name is Sarah Jessie Apia, and I'll be co-hosting today's program on the TLP. It's great to have you with us, and as always, I will encourage all those who are already logged on to put in the comment section your name and where you're joining us from and your expectation for today. So please do so. I don't see anybody who has put their names on there. And today, as you know, we are doing post Live2Lead sharing and learning. We had 2 participants in the person of Mr. Emmanuel and Dr. I have even forgotten his name, and he will not forgive me for that. Who shared with us last week. Today, we have 2 ladies. Yeah, last week was a gentleman's event. This week is a ladies' event. So I will invite them on as soon as they get on the set. But before then, I think I will ask Gideon to give us some highlights of Live2Lead 2025. Over to you, Gideon, if you're ready for us.
Good morning once again to you all, distinguished leaders, invited guests, speakers, and participants. On behalf of the Governing Council of Chartered Institute of Bankers Ghana, and on behalf of our CEO, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the Live2Lead Ghana 2025 experience.
Live2Lead is a John C. Maxwell event, and today across 300 plus locations, people are all hosting Live2Lead. And this is hosted by John Maxwell Leadership Coaches. And here in Ghana, I have my colleagues who have joined together to bring you Live2Lead.
We have a lot of skills, talents, business ideas that can be taken from level to level, that can help transform lives, that can help transform our economy. We have opportunity. We are a wealthy nation.
As you create wealth that you seek to sustain it, remember that the sustenance cannot go beyond you when you enter the grave. You came naked and you built the world for your life like Adam, and you will live naked. And as you live, remember that you hand over a well-tilled garden of Eden.
All right. So, were you in the room? Let's see who was in the room. Put it in the chat. And as you do so, I would like to welcome Albert Donko for really being brave, being the first person to say good evening, team. And he has announced himself, and I'm looking forward to seeing more of you announcing yourself. I know most of you joined, but we will love to really connect with you on this comment page as well. So please, 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 please join us on the comments page. Wonderful. Great. Wonderful. So let's see. I will love to invite our guests if they are here. I know Dzifa is here with me. So if our guests can come or join me on the screen, I'll be most grateful. Thank you. All right. Great. Welcome, Professor Mary. I did not have a chance to greet you in the green room before you joined, but I'll have an opportunity later on. So great to have you and Dzifa to join us today on the call. Before we start off, I will invite you to share a little bit about who you are so that the audience can connect better with you. So I'll start first with Dzifa. Dzifa, tell us your name, where you're joining us from, and why we chose you to come onto this call. Over to you, Dzifa.
All right, great. So, good evening, good morning. I don't know what time people are joining from, so good day to you all. I'm really glad to be here. I'm a people management specialist. I've got over 20 years of experience. I'm a chartered fellow with the CIPD. So I've worked across quite a couple of industries, including oil and gas, agribusiness, FMCG, and tech. I'm also an executive coach. That's one of newfound passions. And it was my first time at Live2Lead. And I so thoroughly enjoyed it. And I'm really glad to be here to share some of my learnings.
Okay, thank you, Dzifa. Great to have you with us. And Dr. Professor Mary, good evening. So who are you? Tell us where you are joining us from. And definitely, we know that you have a different nationality from Dzifa and myself. So please give us all the speed.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for your comments. Great evening to all. I am Professor Mary Immaculate Sheela, working as head of the Department of Computing and Engineering, Heritage Christian University, Amasavan, Accra, Ghana. Actually, I am from India. Now I am a Ghanaian.
Perfect. So India, which part of India are you coming from? The north?
I am from southern part, Chennai.
Chennai.
Yes, please.
So welcome to our Indian Ghanaian fellow. Right. So great to have you on. So Live2Lead. I just want to find out from you, Professor Mary,
Yes.
Was that your first time or was that your second time in participating in the Live2Lead experience?
This is my second time.
All right. So you can compare what we did well and what we need to improve with what we did last year. Great. So you're an alumni of Live2Lead. Wonderful. So to start off, let's see how you experienced the whole conference. I'll start with you. Tell
Okay, well,
was it? It was your first time. So give us a little bit of how you entered the whole conference.
yeah, I mean, I love the venue was well chosen. It could accommodate all of us, which
Mhm.
was great. So entering, I registered, and then it's sort of I walked the Hall of Fame. There was a lot of books and posters and all of that um, up, and so it was a bit of ooh. You're about to enter something great, and so the setup was excellent. I really enjoyed just entering. I was welcomed. It was very warm. Um, and then I was given a seat, or I was allowed to choose a seat. And so I chose and I sat down. And so the conference, I mean, from the intro, the whole thing was really well planned. And the program went accordingly. And the sessions were very, very, very instructive. I really learned a lot. I love the speakers. The lineup was excellent. I love the fact that we had local businessmen, um, you know, here in Ghana who spoke to us as well as us joining Colorado as well, and listening to the international speakers as well. Even though we had, if I put quote unquote local businessmen, they were international as well, right? So just coming in with a local flavor, and it was excellent. I loved every part of it. I learned so much. After that, I was bothering Samuel. Can I please have a link to the recordings, because I need to listen to this again? I'm sure I missed some really good tidbits. It was like so many good stuff. At a point, when Daniel Ofosu Dotse started, I was literally writing like his every sentence. I'm like, I have to give up. I need to listen to the recording to get, because everything he was saying was such a nugget, and all the speakers. And so I've just been trying to soak in and picking what is relevant for my life at this stage as well, and also what I could also teach to others as well. So it's been great. Thank you very much for that question.
Excellent. Thank you. So I will invite Professor Mary to give us her perspective, and then we can dive first into the local speakers or the national speakers before we move on to the international scene. Over to
Thank you.
you, Professor Mary.
Yeah, thank you. It is an honor. It was an honor. Really, really, we enjoyed the conference. Mainly, I have to thank the organizer and the team, especially the food, the way you arranged the table and you served excellent. No way we have to say any complaint about it. Even though some of them came late, they provided the breakfast. Really, we enjoyed. Not you feed not only for our hunger, you feed our knowledge, you put something in our ears and not only in our stomach. Therefore the speakers national and international way, and also the lead to live, provide and show the people not to look for job but to create an opportunity. Everybody learn. In Ghana there is a opportunity, no job, no individual, each and everyone to create opportunity. That is the excellent thing everybody shared. I enjoyed, I learned a lot. These are the speakers individually. I want to say each and every one speaker about one thing. When time comes I will speak about it. Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professor Mary. And I'll start off with Dzifa. Dzifa, for the local speakers, let's see which one resonated more with you. I mean, they were all great, but let's start with your number one, and then you come down to number two and number three. And the nuggets that came out, why do they stand out for you?
Okay, so the first speaker up was lawyer Daniel Okusidote, and I just love him. So
Yeah.
coming from,
May
obviously.
I ask you to speak up a little bit?
Okay, all
Your
right.
volume is a little bit low. Yes.
Okay, so I said the first speaker up was lawyer Daniel Ofosudote, and
It's David. I
able
think
to
it's David. Yeah.
David. Okay, sorry, David. David Ofosudote, and I mean, it was phenomenal listening to him. Um, there were so many things I picked up. From a people management perspective, he just sang my songs. I mean, I love his values-based leadership approach. Excellent. He's very much people-oriented in his business, and you can't run away from people, right? No matter what kind of profession you have. He's a lawyer. He's built a multinational law firm, which is excellent, crossing not just across Africa, but I heard that he's opened up in Singapore. Excellent. And I love the fact that he's very forward thinking. He has foresight. He's thinking about how to leave a legacy, and how he practically did that. Started looking for new leadership at age 50, and use that as an opportunity to expand the business beyond the shores of Ghana, and focus somewhere else, right? And now he's across continents, and how he did that, and it was intentional, it was well thought through, and I'm sure he surrounded himself with people who coached, who advised, and who counseled him. And I think he sets a great example of what it means to be an entrepreneur, to be a founder of a business, and also how to ensure sustainability going forward for business, particularly in Africa and elsewhere, where you know typical founders of businesses or businesses don't last beyond their founders, right? So that was a shining example, a living example of what to do and how to ensure that your business lasts beyond you. So, in a nutshell, that's what I found really fascinating about what he taught. So I just don't want to take everything. I'm sure Madam Professor has quite a few things to say as well. So I'll hand over.
Okay, I'll come back to you about what you said about legacy and expansion later on. Okay,
Yeah.
so Professor Mary
Yes,
Immaculate is Professor Mary Immaculate. So please, over to you.
thank you. My observation from speakers, I'll start from John C. Maxwell. Wow, the man is having energy. I was wondering whether he's stringing the juice like a solution or something is stringing. I want to check, find whether energy is from that or from his body. What lovely speaker. Seeing this person when we are attending his program and the speak, everybody will get more idea and energy will come. That's all I admire from his speech and everything, the energy. Then when you come to the national, oh my God, the lawyer David. I remember I want to count his quote, how many he did from the first day to this. I couldn't make. And one thing I remember from his talk, things are no value without human. That I like it very much. I thought so many inventions are coming. The people not ready to use. What about the things without human things doesn't have any value? Yes, it is true. Therefore, we should not be a things. We should be a human being. So much expression, and he's telling the Ghana culture from his family and how he traveled from Ghana to Singapore, another country, how to take the business. Very, 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 very. So much he has shared his own experience. Then another one, the Madam Honorable Dr. Nora. From his speech and talk, he said, do things differently, doing things differently. Wow, that woman, I never expected that much energy and the way he is today, this much level. The young entrepreneur, the young Buddhist who wants to do the business, she is a role model for not only ladies, all the people, those who want to do business, especially in Ghana. She shared his struggles, difficulties, at the same time, how she achieved this much position. Wow, great. All the speakers have done well. These all are my most observation among the speakers.
Okay, thank you very much. So, for Dr. David Dotse, yeah, Dotse, both of you really loved the human aspect that he really shared. That without humans, we cannot do much. And therefore, even his interpersonal way of connecting with his own staff, that is what Dzifa touched about. And she being an HR specialist, my question to you is, so how are you applying what he gave to you that day? Just give us a little bit of how this has been applied, or you've already done so, and how this has been enhanced.
Yeah. Like I said, what he said really resonated with me. So I think I could say I was aligned to a lot of the things he was saying, and I was already believing and doing. However, it just comes to sort of establish and give you more oomph, if I can put it that way, to say keep on going. So this is something that actually works, because that's what he came to prove to me. Not just it's not just a good thing that we learn from the books, but this is a businessman who has lived what he's coming to speak about, and so it's real. And you mentioned something about integrity. That if you lack integrity in your business, and he gave a story around that, about how he was, struggling at a point in time in his business, and somebody came to offer him a bribe, and he said no. He called in the security man as somebody who could come in and sort of see what was going on, and then be his witness, and he declined. And within 2 weeks, he got far more than what he had declined. Right? It just goes to prove that it is possible to survive and have integrity in business. The narrative otherwise is very popular. And again, when you talk about values-based leadership, all companies I've ever worked in and more, and I know almost all companies state their values. It's on the walls when you walk in. It's in their strategy book. However, how many of that actually live it? And for Daniel to put out some of these stories of how he is living his personal values, it's excellent, because leadership and values and all of that starts with leadership. The values and culture and all of that starts with leadership. So I love that. And that's something I took away with me, to make sure and be intentional about living and expressing my values on a daily basis, right? In my interactions with my team members, in my interactions with my partners and stakeholders, I need to be somebody who exhibits my core values. Sometimes that will put you in tough places, right? But that's a decision that we need to make. And when we understand that, you'll pull through from that. So, so values driven leadership is extremely key to me. And that's one of the key takeaways that I took from Lawyer David Fosidoti.
Perfect. Thank you so much. So, value-based leadership, Dzifa is telling us, is real. Dr. David Osudote has lived it. He shared with us, and she is taking that away as her applied action that she's going to take. She's living it already, but at a different level now. Dr. Mary, you spoke about Dr. Nora
Yes.
doing things differently, leading differently. How have you been applying this since Live2Lead? That is it 2 weeks ago already? So let's see
Yes.
some practical things that you are doing differently.
Yes. After attending the conference, because I am in the academic teaching university, usually we used to conduct the mid semester continuous assessment exam, only writing the question answer or MCQ likewise. After attending this conference, what I did means I gave the chance to the students. Those who are interested, they can do the presentation. Those who are interested, they can submit a research paper. Those who want to do it practical, I allow them to practical. Those who want to write it in exam paper like a question hard copy paper written, I allowed them. They all have done. Today only we did all the things. I didn't check the results. I am waiting for them because we did things differently. I am expecting how the things work on it. If it is showing the result in positive way, the graph is going forward, surely I am going to follow the things. That is the real thing. And another thing, when you are taking the things, support small business idea within your organization or community. Yes, we have to. This one I applied into the education. If students, whoever is bringing their idea or they want to say something different, first, we, because of the time limit, we won't sometime listen. We will say okay later, after, likewise we will postpone, or we want to move to the next things. Now here we are listening, then we are listening, understanding, and we want to lift them up. Likewise, I am applying because of the education field, in the teaching field. In that way, what I learned, what we heard, just I am trying to apply, and we started doing in heritage.
Excellent. This is really brilliant. So, in a gist, you have put in place a new way of writing exams, making sure that people do it as I think as relevant to the way that they feel. And also when it's coming to new entrepreneurial ideas, you have made time to sit, listen to them, and understand. Okay, wonderful. So to both of you, apart from uh, David Lusudote and Dr. Nora, we also had Dr. George Donko from the ECOWAS Bank. And then we did have, for the table talks, we also had Mr. Mante. Give us your experience about these two speakers and the table talks. Who would like to go first? Any one of you can go.
Unfortunately, I was there, but I had a call. Therefore, I went out to attend the call. I didn't attend fully. Therefore, I am not able to give any comments about. Only I saw the person when he started talking. Because of due to my some emergency call, I came out. Therefore, I
No,
couldn't give my comments.
no problem. You can rewatch the recording. I hope you'll be able to do so to catch
Sure,
up.
sure, I will do.
Yeah. Over to you, Dzifa, then. Let's hear from you.
Yes. All right. So from is it Dr. George Donko? Is
Yes.
that
Yes.
I've gotten the name right? Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I was so impressed how he was able to take the bank for where it was to where it is now over a relatively short period of time. And from what I gleaned from his journey was that it was more of a culture shift he had to tackle more than just the real nuts and bolts of finance. It was more of a people thing. It was more of a leadership thing, and how he had to change. The typical African culture, very slack, people who don't, take their job seriously, and how he had to pivot all of that for them to have the right outcomes that and the outcomes were astronomical when he made the key people changes that he did. So that was my takeaway from Dr. Donko. Excellent. From Paul Mante, I think he came to speak to us about multiplying wealth. And my takeaway from him is the compounding interest, how things compound over time. And I think I can link that to one of the speakers that came forward as well. I think, was it the First Lady? Is it Dr. Yvonne?
Nora. Nora
Is it
Bannerman.
Nora? No,
Nora
no. One of the international speakers also spoke
Ah,
about compounding.
Jesse.
Is it Jesse? Jesse
Jesse.
Cole?
Yeah.
Okay,
Jesse
one of
Cole.
them spoke about that, and I think a lady also spoke about that. And I mean, we keep on hearing about how little can be compounded over a long period of time, and so we need to be strategic in that manner. We need to be have that kind of foresight, and it's never too early to start. And so that was my key takeaway from Paul Mante as well.
Okay, and what about your stream incomes? Do you have it already written down? That was your homework.
Yes, that was 8. Is it 8 streams of income?
Yes.
I mean, on our table, we started counting. And most of us ended at like 3.
3. Okay.
4, and we challenged ourselves that we needed to, increase the number of streams. And we started to brainstorm right on the table. It was even interesting because there was somebody who said they sold Tom Brown, I think. And then I put my hand up and I said, I'll make cocoa from your Tom Brown and start to sell another stream of income. So we were having fun, just bouncing things around ourselves and everything. But that really got me thinking personally about what I can do. And I think this is a great information that everybody needs to start, hearing and thinking. I mean, how can we multiply ourselves? And it's not as hard as it sounds. You don't have to go and open a huge, conglomerate, right? You can just start small. And so that was my takeaway from there. Thank you.
As you're speaking, what I've realized is that I'm seeing that the wealth, you did speak about Dr. Donko, about how you use people to enhance the outcome of the financial figure. So wealth is not only linked to money, but even to how you manage people and the performance, which really bumps up the bottom line. So
Right.
wealth is all through everything that we do, through the
Right.
people, through our processes, through our systems, and also the bottom line when we get it. Okay, and then now you have ideas of how you can build wealth through the teachings of Dr. Paul Mante. What about, okay, this one, I'll now move on onto the international setup because Dr. Mary, John was your favorite speaker. You started that off. We hadn't even gotten to the international, but for you, John was your favorite, right? Okay. So let's move now onto the national scene. You started with John. If you want to continue with John, please go ahead, and then the others. Tell us your experience about them.
Yes. He said ACT, ACT, apply, change, teach.
Yeah.
Now I started. I applied. I applied. I want to make a change. Therefore, through teaching, I am following. And in his speech, uh, he has talked about ABC list out what we are going to do. The option first, you write it down. Like every day, the calendar. You have to prepare your diary. ABC, ABC, ABC. That is one ABC, two ABC. Likewise, whatever the task you want to do, how many tasks you have done, how many yet to do. Likewise, he was telling the things about the way how to prepare, how to go forward. Likewise, if you want to build leaders, first you have to serve. If you serve, the people will trust you. When they trust, automatically they will follow you. This is the thing from him I understood. I am trying to follow to the things wherever, whenever it is applicable, not only in the teaching field, in my colleagues, in my department, around my people, the community. I want to apply, I want to do the experiment.
Okay, wonderful. So there's John gave us a checklist. You say how you want to prepare first, and then there are stages that you need to do the A and what is the B. Okay, all right, perfect. And also the acronym he gave to us about the ACT, what we're going to apply from what we have learned, what we're going to change, and then what we're going to teach. And already I can see that you have applied that, doing things differently, you had applied. Those were the things that you applied from the Dr. Norris, um, what do you call it? His speech. And also what you're going to change. And I've seen that you've already changed how you are listening now and understanding the students when they bring up new entrepreneurial ideas. So wonderful. Now, teaching, you already teach. So definitely you're doing that. Now to you, Dzifa, the international speakers.
Yes, I mean, I'm just looking over my notes from John Maxwell. I mean, it's wonderful. Just like a professor said, I've learned a new way to take notes now, going forward, and not just for this program. Um, Anytime I'm listening to somebody or something of interest, I will apply the ACT way of taking notes, right? So apply what I'm going to apply going forward, what I'm going to change, and what I'm going to teach. And it's so practical. And not just that, but it helps you to assimilate what we learn or what we hear. Because a lot of hearing happens. It goes through one ear and goes out the other ear, and it doesn't really impact our lives. So this way makes you now start thinking immediately, how am I going to apply what I'm learning? And you start to personalize it, and I love that. What am I going to change from what I'm hearing? And who else am I going to teach? And when we teach people, and I love being here because when I'm speaking to others about what I'm learning, it sticks much more than just hearing something and taking it away. But when I teach somebody, it actually sticks, and you often will meditate more and apply it better. So it just goes round. So that's the first thing I want to say. And the other items that he went through was just really powerful. The six C's. So communicate, create, collaborate, concentrate. Is it? Yeah, consecrate and then celebrate. Wonderful stuff. The communication really got to me, and this whole what he was talking about is how to lead a team successfully. Um, and so the communication, the assumptions that we make in our minds are a huge derailer. And I think it's extremely important for us to be great communicators if we want to be a great leader. And creating and communicating at all levels, not just on stage, with thousands, but one-on-one communication, team communication, communication in the corridor, and so on and so forth. Being intentional about that and never making any assumptions. Don't think that everybody can read your mind or your motives or your heart. So it's really good to have that, sounded out. And so that was something I really took from there. I mean, all the others were excellent, but I really took the fact that communication and assumptions around communication is a big derailer. So I probably let me end there for now. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Communication, if you don't communicate and you assume, it's a derailer. Thank you so much, Ifa, for that. And we did have Tiffany as well. Tiffany, and then we have Jesse. Jesse also spoke to us. So let's hear from either of you what you took away from these two. What was it that stood out for you? Dr. Mary?
Yes, please. When I am going to say about Jesse, I didn't watch his speech. I watched his body language and action.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
mean, I think you both also, many are followed like me.
Uh-huh. All
Yeah,
right.
the way he attract the crowd, the clap, the sound when he was started speaking, the sound, attention, and the response from the crowd. Excellent, excellent. And he taught about the 5 E's. how to creating the fans, how to make them in the positive way. Therefore, in his speech, he added the creativity and also the reality. It is not a fake one. It is he applied the advertisement, everything through the real life, not the real one. He didn't act like a real. He showed the reality. That was I observed from his speech.
Okay, wonderful. So, what I'm hearing from you is the fact that he communicated visually
Yes.
as well as audibly. And you
Mhm.
being a visual learner, that really stood out for you.
Yes.
So, for us, then, if we are communicating, how do we address both the visual as well as the auditory audience? Yes, he did an excellent job, and I really love him. Even his clothes were
Yes.
yellow. I'm wearing yellow today. His clothes were even yellow, standing out.
See.
Yeah, so how do you stand out when you communicate, whether visually or audible? That is what he conveyed to us. And also, you talked about the E, and I know that you are very passionate about energy, and therefore,
Yes.
that is what attracted you. The emotions also. How do you arouse emotions when it comes to communication?
Yeah, when we are going for sometimes because of the education, again I am taking my own examples. When you are going for the class or sometimes meeting, whether it is a colleague or a students, we cannot show our emotion on our face, and sometimes we are seeing the persons don't have energy to tell, to share the things. As a leader we have to understand, we have to observe the things. Therefore we should follow what is their expectation, what they need. I have to show, as a leader I want to make them to understand, I want to make them to trust me, then only they will ready to share. That's why the crowd, when he's showing his cap or something he has shown, when he throw the things, how many people catch? Everybody is ready to catch when Jesse throws something. In that way, when I am going to say something, my people, my students, my colleagues ready to catch the things. That much energy, and I have to show the things emotional. I should not show the emotion on my face. If it is, even though I have a issues, I have a problem, I try to understand the people, those who are coming to me, whether maybe a student or maybe a colleague or maybe a working people or my friends or the community. In that way, I have to show. That is the thing I learned from his speech.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. What about you, Jifa?
Yeah,
Let's
I
see
mean,
your take on that.
I completely agree that he lived his speech. I mean, his entry with the music and his banana man, outfit, he literally exemplified what he came to speak. And again, from my background, that taught me that leadership needs to act, and walk the talk. And he did I mean, he was in every point he brought out. The 6 E's about eliminate friction, entertain always, um, experiment constantly, engage deeply. Every single um, example, every single E, he was in it. It wasn't somebody necessarily else. He was, initiating. He was in it. So from a leadership perspective, a leader cannot be pointing the way. A leader needs to live the way, and that's my take from there. So, whatever I want to see in my space, in maybe my company or in anything I put my hands to do, I need to do it. That is the best signboard you can put up to say this is how we do things, is by me doing it. And so that's made me even more intentional about the way I show up. Okay, I don't expect my team members to be happy, smiley, and I don't show up smiling and happy. How do I want my team members to enter the office? Is it with a, oh God, it's Monday again, or it's yay, it's Monday again. And so how I greet them when I come in and they say, hey, it's another week and I'm looking forward to it. Wow, one of the kind of things we're going to conquer this week, the kind of progress we're going to make this week. I'm so excited. And everybody be like, okay, I guess this is how we enter on a Monday, right? This is how we enter the office on a Monday. And so that is my learning. He was lit from the beginning right to the end, and I love that energy. I'm naturally not, very yellow, if you can put it that way, but I realized how attractive that was, and I realized it's really important to have that as well as a leader. So that's my takeaway from Jesse Coleman. I mean, that was just wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you. Viewers, I can't see any comments. I mean, Dzifa and Professor Mary have shared so much. So whatever you're picking from them, let's have it in the comments. And I think we'll go for a short commercial break and then we'll come back and then continue with the rest. Gideon, if you're ready for us, please take us away. If not, we'll continue. I'm just going to count 1, 2, 3. And if we don't hear from Gideon, we can continue. 1, 2, and 3. Okay. That's a sign for us to continue. So that is Jesse. The other person was Tiffany.
Yes.
Yeah. And Tiffany, I guess you did mention about Tiffany that you also took something away from Tiffany when you were talking about earlier on. So let's
Yes.
see what you wanted to share with us at that time.
Yes,
Tiffany.
there were two items I took away from Tiffany. Number one thing she said is build your confidence muscle, right?
Mhm.
And the next thing she said was that we that 1% rule. Those are my two takeaway. So in as much as we're building our confidence muscle, don't expect a change overnight. And this is where I took my compounding interest from, and I connected it to Comante. So
Mhm.
constant small improvements, right, compound over time. And it doesn't mean that it's going to take decades and decades. It could just be a couple of months, a couple of years. But we, being human, we have to understand that we're human. You can't just plug and play or certain things, right? So we need to forgive ourselves and allow ourselves 1%. Let's not bite too much, just 1%. 1% is 1/100. So that is a tiny amount. And anybody can do that. That's how I took it. I said, even I can do that. Right?
Mhm.
I can make a 1% change today and continue to do that tomorrow. And it looks really small. So I'm like, I can do this. This is not anything. This is not rocket science. So I love that. I love the doability of that 1% rule. And the fact that I can build my confidence muscle every single day, just 1%, nothing huge. And so that's something I can remember. I didn't even have to look in my notes. I'm like, I'm doing this every day. What is my 1% today? And being intentional about that as well.
Beautiful. Dr. Mary,
Yes, please.
let's see. Jifa took away the 1%, the compounding from Tiffany. It's doable. What was one little thing that when you were listening to the internationals, you felt it's broken down so tiny that I can do? I don't even have to think about it. That's what Difa said. I don't even have to think about it. I didn't have to look at my notes. So I remembered. What is it that struck you?
If you are asking international, again John Maxwell only come to me.
Yeah.
Another quote what he mentioned, it touched my heart, is more before for you. When he mentions more before for you, this will match and it will suits every place, anytime, anything. If you want to see there is a more thing before me, from this which one I am going to select, which one I am going to choose, which one I want to do. Therefore, always I remember the things wherever, whether I am going to teach, whether I am going to attend meeting, whether I am going to meet somebody, whether I am going to do the housework, more before for me. This is the thing often I used to remind, I used to think, and I used to do.
Okay, more before for me. All right, so that is the one for you. So, Dzifa, let's see. You haven't spoken about John so far.
John, I did. I
You
talked
did?
about his 6 C's.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
beginning.
Yes, John. Okay. Yeah, there's 2 C's. So, what is left overall? Let's see. What haven't we talked about that you want to share with the audience?
Okay. I love what spoke about, Valerie Burton,
Mm-hmm.
about resilience. And I think everybody needs to hear about resilience, right? We all need to be resilient, especially the kind of bunny world that we're living in. Things are changing so quickly. If you're not careful, it's like, this is too much. I'm overwhelmed. How do I manage this? My two takeaway from Valerie was adaptive thinking, being aware of what we say to ourselves when we go through difficult times, right? And it seems that difficult times are constant nowadays, right? So being intentional how we perceive ourselves and don't catastrophize is a new word I learned. And also being aware of your resources, number two. And one thing I took away from her is authenticity is a resource, because she was authentic about her need, and she was able to express it, and that's how she got help. Being authentic, it's a real value add, attitude or approach to have things. So that's from Valerie. Also from Craig, one thing I took from him is that your body can do more than your brain knows. And the story he told about how you could hold his breath for a minute, and how his friend or coach challenged him to hold his breath for 2 minutes, and he actually went far beyond that. 2 minutes, is it 45 seconds? I was like, wow, I can't even hold my breath for 30 seconds. But it's what we tell ourselves. It's what we tell ourselves, right? And then the other thing I took away from him is that you can name excuses or you can make progress, but you can never do both.
Say
That's
that
that's a
again.
real challenge. He
Say that
said
again.
he said you can make excuses or you can make progress, but you can never do both. So you have to choose. And once you choose one, you can't do the other. So that is a real challenge, right? And I've been looking at the number of excuses unconsciously I've been making over the time. I'm like, maybe that's why I'm not making progress in these areas. And so that's one thing I took from Craig as well. It's wonderful. Yeah.
You can make excuses or you can
You
make
can make
progress.
progress, but you can never do
You
both.
cannot make the two. So, which one are you going to choose? I
Exactly.
choose progress.
I choose progress too.
Agree.
I choose
What about
progress.
you? Yeah. What about you? That is a great nugget. I think hearing, I remember watching him also, but then it didn't stick. But you sharing this with me now is stuck. So thank you for
Glad for that.
teaching. Yeah. Over to you, Dr. Berry. Which one, apart from all that we've spoken to, that has really stood out for you as well?
Yeah, for me, from this conference, from all the speakers, one thing come to my mind is leadership is not about title or position. Yeah, it begins with the service and transformation. Therefore, wherever I am, I want to serve. I want to make small transformation. This is the thing I am taking from the conference. Even though it is my second time, I am not having that feel I am attending. I am an alumni. I have the experience. No, everything is new to me. Everything I am learning. Everything I am writing. Everything I am hearing is a new thing for me to lead my life as a lead to live program in the conference. Therefore, this is the thing I used to say: the leadership is not based on title or position. We have to do service and transformation.
Okay, beautiful. So, what would you say to anybody who missed the opportunity?
those who are saying there is no opportunity, I don't know how to lead my life, they have to at least go and attend this conference every year if you get a chance. If not, at least listen the video, get the recording, just sit and watch and listen. You will get the path, you will get the direction what to do. For that, no need to do the degree, no need to complete a big education, no need. If you want to start a business from the house, from the family, from the community, it will help, it will lead. But the thing, my suggestion is, instead of conducting the conference in the outside place, my uh, suggestion and request to your team and organizer, you select a school or university, you go there and bring your team and conduct the things in that place. Then everybody can get the chances, and they may get the opportunity to learn, to hear what the thing is going and how it is applicable in Ghana, what they missed the opportunity. Likewise, it will create more awareness, it will make more students or more people will come to know what the lead to live is doing. You may get that one in that way. This is my humble suggestion.
Thank you so much for the suggestion. And just for you to know, the Leave to Leave season is all the way to next year, end of February. So we are open. Invite us to your schools, invite us to your campus, and we will come to rebroadcast this to you and even tailor it to your needs. Okay, so
Yeah.
corporations, banks, institutions, universities, we are here. Reach out to Live2Lead, and I guess the team, Gideon will put where you can reach us from. We have it all the way to February. It's 5 months. That's the season. And also, those who will not be in schools or corporations or whatever, you have the possibility. Reach out to CTL, buy the ticket at a reduced rate, and you will be able to watch it online, and you have access to it for 5 days. Those who attended, if you want to go beyond the 5 days that was given to you, pay $14 equivalent in Ghanaian cedis, and you will be able to rewatch it again. So we have all these suite of possibilities for us to rebroadcast Live2Lead. So tell your friends, tell your corporation, tell your HR specialist like Dzifa. Dzifa, tell your network that we are here to serve, because we don't want to keep it to ourselves. We want everybody to be transformed. So Dzifa, over to you. I was answering Dr. Mary's distance. So over to you, Dzifa. What would you say to other people who were not there in the room?
I mean, what I said to Samuel after the program was like, Samuel has been chasing me for like 4 years to come to this conference. I'm like, oh no, I've missed all these years. You need to give me all the links. So that was how good it was. It was transformational. So I would encourage anybody who's never been, please come, because when you do come, one warning, you will be hooked. So I'm definitely making earmarking for next year. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also in between. Like you said, you live to lead every day. From now until the next time, I'm gonna do all my best to live all these nuggets and let it transform my life. So I would encourage anybody. This is open, not just to corporate, but anybody can come in and really benefit from Live to Lead, and the kind of, because they feature people from all walks of life and who are leading in their spaces. So I'd encourage anybody, especially corporate, but it's open to all as well, to come in. So that's what I have to add to that.
Thank you, Jifa. And I can see some comments now on the screen. Bukari Alusius says, very great presentation. I've learned as well. You can make excuses or you can make progress, but you can never do both. So, Jifa, your takeaway has been widely heard, and I have heard it too. And still, Bukari goes on. She says, my name is Aloysius Bukari. I've not been very consistent listening from OEB. Thank you so much for really putting that in the comment, and great that you were able to make it today. And Gideon has also put in the chat the links for everyone. Um, everyone, if you want to contact CTL, those are the numbers that you can contact on Facebook and YouTube. You have it there. So reach out to CTL Africa and we'll be able to come to your corporation, come to your bank, or wherever you want us to be to make sure that you get these nuggets as well. And you see, if I said for 4 years, so we were consistent, we were persistent. So also be persistent to your network that this is great and they have to sign up. And Dzifa, I'm going to have Gideon reach out to you already to register for next year.
Of course, my hands are up. I'm registering.
Okay, great. So both of you, thank you so much for coming. Is there anything else that you want to say apart from what you've already shared to us that maybe I failed to ask you? What is it that you want to say to us and to the audience? This is your opportunity. Dr. Mary and
Mary?
Yes. Yeah.
Anything? Yeah.
I want to conclude my discussion with this. Honesty builds a trust, and trust builds nation. All together, we build nation Ghana.
Okay, honesty builds trust, and trust builds a nation. All together, we build Ghana. Thank you so much for being second-time alumni of Live2Lead. Over to you, Dzifa.
Just to say that value-based leadership is all that we need to transform a nation. And we can transform it a company at a time, a family at a time, a group, a community at a time. And we have great examples who have done this. And I encourage anybody to look into it because that's where real change happens. So, or transformation, rather. Yeah.
Okay, great. So it leaves me to say a big thank you on behalf of Mr. Aim, who could not join us today. He sends his apologies. I should have said it at the beginning. Because of internet connectivity, he couldn't join us from where he was, but he's really listening in the background. And from the team at CTL Africa and the Live2Lead team, we want to say a big thank you, and definitely we will see you next year, and hopefully I'll be in Ghana. Let's hope, so I can meet all of you and give you a hug. All right, great. Thank you so much. So viewers, it's been host Live2Lead with Dzifa and Professor Mary sharing their experiences. We look forward to coming back to you again next week to share again other experiences or bring you a different program. Until then, it's TLP signing off on today's date, the 25th of October. See you next week, and thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Bye, Shifar.
Bye.